Hi everyone, I'm Sarah with Divine Love Healing. I am, first off, so sorry that I have been MIA. I have just really missed recording videos and, just being on here and interacting with you guys. I have been putting up quite a bit of content, reels and short pick-a-card videos over on my Instagram and my Facebook page and TikTok. So I would encourage you, if you don't already follow me there and you would like to see that free content, please go to my page and subscribe, follow, I guess whatever's applicable there. But Divine Love 1130 is my username on TikTok and on Instagram. I do hope to get back on here and do some more videos. I'm definitely feeling that calling, and there's just been a lot going on, which I will get into here in a moment. But before I forget, I wanted to let you guys know also that my website, finally, it's only been since July, it's been months in the making, but my official website, www.divinelove1130, so the same as my Instagram and TikTok handles, divinelove1130.com, is live. So that link is also down below. You guys can check that out. You can see the different services I offer. There will be announcements up there. There's a link to my shop that has my 9 self-created decks in it. There's also some really cool Reiki infused, one-of-a-kind crystalline devices. There's Ankhs, just a lot of different cool stuff on there. Also, there's a calendar that links directly, to show my availability. But if you want to book an appointment with me, but I do encourage you to, reach out to me either via a private message or an email if, my calendar looks very limited and there's not a time that works for you. I do have a full-time day job right now, so that does affect my availability, but I do usually have more times than are available that are shown on the calendar. It's just a lot easier for me to block off specific days of the week across the board versus going in and kind of hodgepodging it certain days of the week. So just keep that in mind. Trying to think if there's anything else before I dive in. But today's video is going to be just a collective general reading about the energies that are coming in with the new moon and retrograde starting and the eclipse season. So this will not be a pick a card. This is just intended to just see what is going to come through, via my own channeling and via use of the cards. Now, I know I've been saying this for a while, just like with the website, but my intention is to maybe change things up here soon. I do have a tripod device that I can put my tablet on so that you guys will not have to look at my face. You will actually see the cards, as I'm pulling them, laying them out. You'll just have that view. But, right now, I do still show you the cards and explain them because I do use imagery in addition to the traditional card meanings. So, but what I felt called to do today was just to come on here at first before we dive into the collective reading and just say welcome to you all, and that I miss you, but I just want to welcome you because I've had an uptick in subscribers the last 2-3 weeks, and it's really been mind-blowing and awesome because I haven't been putting out as much content as I would like to and as I usually do. So number one, welcome. I would be curious to hear why, what it is that drew you to my channel, why you subscribed, what type of content that you were hoping to see from me in the future. I do try to tap into what's going on in the collective, but I try to focus on things that empower us on our journey and help us heal and move forward. So I will get into that more as well. But since I do have a lot of new subscribers on here, I wanted to come on and just kind of give an introduction to myself. And so I figured that would be a good thing to do on camera versus not having my face on camera. One thing about me, if you don't know me, is that I love to dress up. I love to be silly. I love the 80s. I was born in 1979, so I'm totally an 80s baby. And I'm actually going to a time warp prom tonight, so that's why I've got this whole vibe going on. My hair is naturally curly. I usually straighten it, but tonight I'm going to be doctoring myself up. Believe it or not, I don't even have my full regala on yet. That's to come. But you never know. I may end up posting something on Instagram. We'll see. If you're curious, my dress is pretty ridiculous and fun. But I'm all about fun. I'm all about joy. I have cats, and I'm a crazy cat mama. I love posting them on social media. I love to laugh, and I try not to take myself too seriously, because at the end of the day, laughter, brings joy, and joy helps raise our vibration and anchor that higher dimensional energy, and it helps us, power through and stop questioning why things are happening. So I'm all about that. Now, if you would like to fast forward to, the start of the collective energy discussion and then the reading, I will timestamp that. But just here for a few minutes, I'm going to give you guys a brief overview of kind of my story and, why I started my channel and kind of the shifts that have been taking place. So you can decide if it continues to resonate or not. And if it does, then I would encourage you to like and, subscribe if you don't already, and maybe encourage your friends to subscribe. The more subscribers I get, there are more options for me to do cool things here with YouTube. I think maybe share short videos and just have a community and things like that I don't have right now with a lower number of subscribers. So always looking for ways to improve and grow my channel. So right now, we are coming up on 5 years. I can't believe it, but 2017, May of 2017 is when I started my, officially really got catapulted onto my spiritual awakening and my path. And that was very typically, like many people out there in the collective, by a perceived twin flame connection. And I had no idea what that was. I just knew that I felt something very, very special with this person, and definitely had a 5D, a taste of 5D, in our physical interaction, that was like, what is this? It was a past, soul recognition, a soul shock, all of those types of things. It started all the clearing of my chakras. And by August, I had a Kundalini awakening and was attuned to do Reiki. I started working with oracle cards, was drawn to tarot. I mean, these were things that I always liked, but I never dreamed I could do these things myself, and quickly found out that my divine life purpose actually involves, tarot and helping empower others. And I started to make sense of my life and the failed relationships I had, 2 failed marriages, having a certain plan for myself and the way things were supposed to go, right? I wanted kids and this, happy ending, and all of these things. And I thought that my whole life was destroyed. I thought that, I had so many regrets in my late 30s because of the things I thought I wanted. And then I went on this, whole journey, right? Catapulted onto it. Never dreamed I'd be celibate for years. Never dreamed I'd be single for 5 years. And it's all just become this perfect gift, and this recognition that I'm supposed to share these experiences and help others heal and empower others, because I never dreamed I would be a woman that could sleep alone. I never dreamed I'd be a woman that could let go of physical need for physical gratification. I never dreamed that I could travel alone, let alone across the world to Australia alone. So it's been mind-blowing, and there are times I still wake up and I'm like, is this real life, right? So initially initially when I started, I started my business a year after I awakened. That was May of 2018. I started YouTube channel spring of 2019. Again, never dreamed I was going to start a YouTube channel, never in a million years. But when you feel that call and you start to feel that push to get out of your comfort zone and get into new things and learn new skills, you can't ignore it. You can only ignore it for so long. So initially my whole goal was, okay, I'm in mission, I'm doing these things, and that's going to bring my twin flame to me, and we're going to be in union, and we're going to have this fairy tale romance, and it's this happy ending. So for several years, that's what I was latched onto. And if you guys look back in my past content, you're going to see there was a heavy focus on divine masculine, divine feminine, soul connections, twin flames. For quite a while, up until about 2020 was when I finally started to move away from that, because I realized it was an unhealthy attachment that was holding me back, and it wasn't getting me anywhere. in, my personal life, in my romantic life, and it was something that I just knew, was starting to affect my emotional health, my mental health, to have that longing, that desire, and just to keep being triggered, right? One thing before I digress, is I do want to mention that I'm putting some links down below for you guys if you're new to my channel or you just haven't seen them. I do have some general videos that you might find helpful for you on your journey. One is to, I walk through the signs that you may be having a spiritual awakening. I kind of talk about my journey and some of the typical experiences that people have during that process. I also have a video on interpreting angel numbers and signs and synchronicities and what they mean and how you can work with those. And then also, I would encourage you to check out the video. It's a walkthrough for my Triggers and Shadows deck. Obviously, you may not be interested in purchasing the deck, and that's perfectly fine. But I think it would be really helpful if you're on a healing journey, if you're on a spiritual path, an awakening, and there are things that you feel like are holding you back. We all have core wounds. We all have childhood wounds. We all have triggers. We all have, it's our shadow, things that need to be healed and faced. And sometimes it's even, it's 11:11, right when I said that. But things that sometimes are even subconscious, right? So the walkthrough of that deck gives you an example of 55 different core wounds and triggers and things that could be affecting you on your journey. So I would encourage you to watch that, and I do use that deck and discuss those concepts throughout a lot of my readings. My focus has always been on empowerment and always on how can you heal yourself, but over time I did shift away again from the twin flame, from the soul connection, from focusing your attention and your attachment on an outcome with one person. I do still offer, soul connection readings as part of, the services I offer, but, and I do every now and then offer pick a cards or videos to talk about those concepts, but my focus has shifted on how you can, heal from that, move on. What are you supposed to learn from it? What is it trying to show you? And what you need to do to move forward. So again, I, back in the fall of 2020, finally made that shift to where, I was so deeply triggered by my twin that, and I had all this suppressed energy. At that point I had been celibate over a year, and I took all of that energy and I put it into creating my first deck, which was the Triggers and Shadows Oracle deck, and it was such a beautiful gift. Because if I didn't feel those triggers, if I didn't feel that pain, I wouldn't have been able to pull it out and put it in, not only put it into that creation to share with everyone else to help them heal, but also to help myself heal, right? So, shortly after that, it opened up the floodgates. I created Sacred Union Tarot, which was sort of an autobiography of my awakening journey and my journey up to that point. It's a deck that I use often to help people, because I understand that energy. I created the deck. It's about myself and what I experienced. It helps me tap into my clients a little bit better and what they may be having going on, in their journey. So I have 7 other decks that I've created and put out there, right? Just put that energy in. Eventually, I did completely break ties on social media and everything with the perceived twin. I had a deep grieving, the death of the dream, not only missing him and missing the friendship that was there, not consistently, but that had developed over the years. It was this deep grief of this is the way that my life was supposed to go, right? That whole pattern again. This is what I thought was going to happen. This is why I've done all this work. No, that's not why I've done all the work, right? To get an outcome with a specific person. I've done the work to empower myself and to ascend and to get to a point where, you're not attached to, you get into that everything's one. You realize that when you're separate, you don't need the physical contact with the person. You don't need to even talk to them. You don't need that from anybody. And that's so empowering. And so once you let go of that, and I got to this point where I didn't even care if I had a relationship at all with him or anyone else, that's when last summer, I did attract an amazing, beautiful, sweet, high vibrational man who is just so much like me. And, we have just a beautiful, he's one of the best friends I've ever had, right? First of all, and he just gets me and he brings me peace. And not only that, along this time, I was able to reunite with my perceived twin, and we've had a friendship develop out of totally unexpectedly, right? Because there's this no longer push pull. It's like, okay, I'm with someone else, and I'm just wanting the best for him, and he wants the best for me, and he's happy for me, and I can support him on his journey. And I think, in my mind, at least on my journey, that's what union's supposed to look like, is balance within yourself, balance in your connections with others, right? So it's just been a beautiful process. And Divine Love Healing, the name of my business, initially, the name was based upon my dreams and fantasies about this divine love completing me. And now the business, it has taken on a new name, right? The divine. I have this trilogy of stuff. Like, I want to connect people to their own divinity, to God, to oneness, to help them awaken, and to help them while they're going through an awakening process, because it's not easy. It's not. It's very, sometimes it brings you to your knees. But then, as that happens, you connect to the all, and you feel that unconditional love, and then you start to love yourself. You start to love yourself and love being alone and heal. And, the healing then comes in, right? You start to heal because you realize how everything is connected. You realize that the path you're on, and you just start to, pull it all together. So that's why I'm here, and that's what I'm doing. And let me see here, guys. I took some notes. Just want to make sure I don't leave anything out for you guys. I think I've went over everything finally, right? But that's a little bit about me and the journey that I've been on, and it's never ending. It's continuously a journey. It's continuously a process. But as I tend to, you obviously share my own personal experiences with you all, because it makes me vulnerable. I think it makes me authentic, but it shows you that you're not alone, right? We're not alone. We're all in this together. So again, I would love to hear your comments. If you have questions, you can post them below. You can contact me, and just know that there are a lot of scammers out there, that I will never contact you and try to solicit you for a reading or anything like that. So, if you ever have a question about that, please let me know if somebody contacts you pretending to be me, because that's not going to happen. But without further ado, I want to go ahead and start getting into to this eclipse energy, right? So right now, we are about to move into eclipse season. April 30th is a new moon, and it's I think it's it's a partial solar eclipse. Won't be visible in the United States, but it will be visible in other parts of the world, and it's taking place in the sign of Taurus. So, and the day before that, we're going to have Pluto going retrograde. So right now we have no planets in retrograde. So I think, this is eclipses are always a very potent, powerful time, but this just energy, I feel like it keeps multiplying, because we just got out of Aries season. The fire, it's like full speed ahead. We're moving, at least in the United States, into summer. There's just this momentum, and it seems like it builds as we get to summer solstice, as we get to Leo season. There's always like gateways, the 8/8 gateway. So it's really kind of opening up that portal of that energy coming in with this new moon. I feel like because it's in the sign of Taurus, there's going to be a lot of focus on our foundation, a lot of focus on, that means like our foundation means our home, our career, our divine life purpose, our relationships. And I think that, to the extent you have been fighting change, you've been fighting resistance, you've been resisting and fighting these things that need to shift. During eclipse season is the time, when the universe will kind of bring about tower moments. They will force you to, quote, eclipse things out, cut things out that no longer serve you, if you are not taking these steps to get aligned on your path. Now, again, this is not trying to be fear mongering. This is not trying to put dread. I'm just trying to let you know that if crazy stuff starts happening where people start exiting your life, or a job situation changes, or something like that, you've got to trust and anchor your faith and know that these things are happening for your highest and greatest good. One of the things I didn't get into just now when I went through my whole about me type spiel here is that around this time last year is when things really, really started changing with my career. I am an attorney by day. I know I don't look or act like a typical lawyer, but I was in-house counsel for a company for 8.5 years, and the company was sold. The ownership change was not a positive one. There was a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. I was working 12, 14 hours a day. And, when we were taken over last summer, they started laying people off. And I was kind of hoping they would lay me off so that I could get a severance and, go about my way and try to work on my business or whatever. But I was one of the ones left standing. And, I think there was a test there. I had to make the decision to surrender. And, as my body deteriorated from the stress, my mental health deteriorated, it got to the point where I had to take that leap of faith and quit my job before I had another job lined up. I had a second interview pending with a company. I had no clue, number one, if I would get the job, number two, if the pay would even be comparable. But I just was like, I can't do this anymore, and I know the universe is pushing me. You get into situations where something is just draining you, stressing you out, you can't take anymore, there's a sign that you need to move on. And so, if you continue to fight that and resist it, there are times then when the universe will create situations to push you along. And like for me, I wasn't meant to be in that career anymore. And I can tell you I'm better off now a year later, and everybody else who was in that situation is better off. They've got different jobs, better jobs. There's some people that, are retired a little early and they're pursuing their passions. And so, that's what, I'm feeling like this energy is about. Taurus is an energy, it's an earth sign. It's about stability and foundation and practicality and, having all your ducks in a row. But it can also be stubborn, right? So if you're stubborn and you're hanging on to something too long, you're going to get a nudge from the universe. There's also an energy, Taurus is about pleasure and luxury and pursuing your passion. So if you're feeling out of balance with not having that love for your life anymore, that balance of the things that bring you joy, then I feel like this energy is going to usher that in. And I can't remember if I already mentioned it. I know I mentioned Pluto retrograde, but Pluto is definitely the transformative planet, right? So when you have that and an eclipse happening within a day of each other, there's a lot of new stuff that's going to be coming in. There's a lot of shifts. There's a lot of just swift. I just feel like, there's opportunities coming in. You just have to be willing to let go of that fear and pursue those things and trust your guidance. And if you were truly happy, one of the things that always gets me, if you're truly happy where you are, and you're presented with an opportunity and you're like, should I do this? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? If you were truly happy where you are, it wouldn't be a decision. It wouldn't be a question, right? Prime example, I had a friend reach out this week about a potential job opportunity through a mutual friend. And it's something I would have jumped on easily a few months ago. And I was kind of like, you know what? I don't know that I want to go into that rat race, that corporate rat race again, even if it's more money and I'm happy where I'm at. Things are easy. They're peaceful, steady. Like, I'm just going to trust that this is where I'm supposed to be. And you just know, and you start to flow and not question it. So without further ado now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pull a spread just to kind of tap into the collective energy. I'm going to use the Light Seers Tarot. If you have any questions, I'll try to mention the decks that I'm using as I use them. But if you would like information on them, let me know. Okay, let's see what we got. I don't even know what to say, you guys. except you know, you can't really make this stuff up. All right, I feel like I need to draw a couple more cards here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So it's just crazy when this happens, when when the cards that come out, it's literally just what I was just talking about, right? Can't make it up. So I feel like, you know, the past few, I'm gonna say back to, I'm getting like vibes of like back to like Cancer season, which was like July, but really heavily through Pisces season, which was February, March. There's this, you know, energy, this Queen of Cups energy is here. And so you have feminine energy, whether you're masculine or feminine. So keep that in mind. But there was just this, you know, you've been putting a lot of effort into something. It could be a career, it could be a relationship, it could be both. But whatever it is, you know, you've kind of like put up your hands and it's like, you can't, I'm feeling like you're having trouble keeping this afloat. There's this sort of surrender that's coming in, like, and actually I think she's wearing I don't know if that's a fish necklace, but you're kind of like, I can't take whatever this is doing anymore, and I'm kind of like, I just give it, I give, right? You can see she's got she's starting to, you know, connect to that, open that crown chakra. You may be, you know, recently going through kind of an awakening, an awareness, a shift in consciousness, but it's kind of like, I've got to let this go. I've got to let this go because the water is getting higher and it's going to take me under. And normally the Queen of Cups wouldn't be associated maybe with that type of energy, but that's what I'm picking up on, just coming in and then looking at the other cards in the spread here. So the first card out is the High Priestess, which again is that intuition. It's a major arcana, so a little bit stronger of an energy coming through. The High Priestess is about that hidden knowledge, that awareness, and I feel like, you know, you guys can see what's interesting too is her eyes are closed here. She's kind of feeling this pull towards the divine. The High Priestess, her eyes are closed too. And so I feel like you're very, very close, like on the precipice, because here the crown is like above her head, and here the light is like literally the moon is like now on the top of her head. So I feel like within the last couple of weeks you've had a shift where there's been some sort of like, you're about to open your eyes, right? That whatever this situation is, it's not working anymore, and it's bringing you heartbreak, because the Three of Swords is the energy crossing that. Like, whatever this is, you can't, you know, it's like dead, it's barren, and it's ripping your heart out. It's like there's nothing else that can be given, you know, or put into the situation to make it better, and you know that, and you're at wit's end. So, you know, I think, you know, the current energy we have, what's interesting is there is a progression here, and I'll get into that in a minute, in some of the suits that came out. But the Four of Swords is the current energy. It's like you are needing to heal from this. You are like finally to the point where I've got to rest, I've got to recuperate, I've got to take care of myself, because going round and round and round, like my heart's out of my chest. It can't stitch. The situation is just unsalvageable is what I'm getting. You're getting, it's like a pressure cooker. I'm just feeling this energy, kind of like what I was going through last year with the job, where it's like, this is literally like, this is killing me. I can't do this anymore. So she's got her nest, you know, which it could represent her home, her foundation, and she's got her heart like lying there, like it's there, and she's kind of been through battle. She's dirty, but she's resting now. So I feel like you're finally at the point here recently where you're ready and you're open and you're like, okay, I've got to move on from this. You know what you're wanting to, I feel like, again, I'm getting very heavy pulling on the crown. There are ideas coming in that you have. There are maybe things that you want to study, that, you know, a new career that you want to undertake. But, you know, you feel like it's like a very precarious feeling, like you're getting pulled, this is the Page of Swords. You're getting pulled, like with the light bulbs here, like all these things are coming into you, and but you're like, nope, 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 I can't let myself get carried away with this. It's too scary. You may be getting signs with birds, feathers, coming your way, but it's like see how she's walking like this tightrope. She's afraid to like let go and let it carry her where the next phase of the journey is what I'm getting. I'm getting a very strong sense of fear holding you back, and I feel like what needs to happen is, and what would be important for you to do, what I'm hearing is, because of this new moon coming up again April 30th with the eclipse coming in, this is a very powerful time for manifestation, for you to pick up that wand, pick up that magician's stick, right, with the tarot, if you're not familiar with that, and say, yeah, I have the power to change my reality. I've just got to let go of this fear and trust, right? If you shift that mindset and say, this is happening for a reason, I'm meant to move forward, I've got to just trust and say, show me, universe, where's the next step, because I am ready. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to recover. I know I can't keep my eyes closed any longer. It's kind of like I'm just getting this like la la la, like I feel it. I'm getting pulled, but I'm not. I'm too afraid to make the change, and that's totally understandable because everybody's there. Change is scary. Change is very scary. But one of the things that I kept telling people last year, myself included, when I was going through this job, this destruction and dismantling of everything that we had built as a company and as a family. We were, very, very close knitted bunch. I mean, I never would have imagined leaving my job had this not happened, right? And so sometimes though, if things stay the same, if things stay safe, if things stay status quo, then we're going to stay stagnant. We're not going to move. And so sometimes the universe makes things uncomfortable, and they bring, these situations to a boil to force us to move to the next path, the next, we're always on the same path, but the next road. It's like you've got to take the next road, the next part, the next detour, whatever it is, the next route. You've got to move on to the next part of your destination, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So the action card that we've got is Queen of Wands. That's why I was saying, like, look at her. She's like, okay, I've got this. I've letting go of this fear, and look at what I'm bringing in. Look at the power I have to shift my reality and to bring these amazing opportunities in. So, it looks like she's maybe been meditating. She's been, connecting to her creative energy, right? Look at all that fire there. She's got joy on her face, right? In the Queen of Cups energy here, she looks like very kind of stressed, like it's an energy more of, help me God, I can't do this anymore, and I can't take anymore, I don't know what I'm going to do, versus, okay, no, I know I've got this, and I don't, it's not a begging, it's not a hope, it's not a wish, it's not a desire. When you put that energy out, that's doubt. That's not, as if you attract more doubt. When you put something out as a want, a desire, I hope, it's always going to be a hope or a wish versus it's in your reality. Does that make sense? So the energy coming in, will come to you, and you will magnetize it. The Queen of Wands, she magnetizes opportunities, and she's in her joy, she's in her knowing, she's in her confidence. So that's the biggest thing I would say to work on with this energy coming in, is building up your confidence, trusting things are happening, and pick up that stick, whatever that stick means to you. Is it looking for a new job? Is it, investing time or funds into a creative side project? Is it contacting someone that you've been thinking about, maybe taking that class or a coaching gig, or somebody who wants to collaborate with you on something that's out of your comfort zone? You know what that stick is. You have that intuition. So now it's like, this is the time to set it down, to put it out there. And look what comes right after that, the Sun. I mean, this is the happiest card in the deck. 1 + 9, 10, completion, fulfillment. Look at that light beaming from her. Right here, she's kind of like starting to tap in. She's kind of got it, but it's kind of cold. It's kind of like stuck. Here, she's just like completely open and just in bliss. What I love here too, I mean, the Knight of Wands in this deck is a very different vibe than it is in some of the other decks that I use. It's a woman, number one, and she's creating. She's got that fire in her drum, in her soul, and it's like, for you, if your situation was romantic, letting go of a soul connection that's holding you back, and healing from that, and maybe picking up that stick and going on to your own, like saying, you know what, I don't need a man, I don't need or a woman, whatever the situation is, I don't need that person to make me happy, to fulfill myself. I have the power to make myself happy, and bring my own sun. I love this card for that, because look, it's almost like, okay, if the knight isn't even showing up and the horse is like, or he's already gone, and the horse is following, she's like, I don't really give a crap, I don't give a shit, right? I don't give a shit. I've got everything I need here. I'm finding my own joy. I'm making my own music. I'm what is it, like beating to the beat of my own drum. She's got that creative passion. She doesn't need somebody to ride in on a horse and rescue her, or come in and show up with some kind of offer to make her happy. And so I feel like for some of you, making that shift and getting into that energy, it's not easy. I know, I've done it. I've done it, and then I think I'm done, and then it's like I get drawn back in, and then it's to a fantasy, over the years or whatever it was, and there's another layer, right? So but once you make that shift, it's huge. I do feel like if you aren't ready to let that situation go, right, to let that horse ride off, like notice he's a black horse, it's like whatever this is that needs to exit your life, to bring you the sun, to bring you the wholeness, if you don't let that go, there is a Tower moment coming. And I used to hate this card. I used to, every time if I would do reading for myself and I get the Tower, I'd just be like, I would like cry. I'd be like, oh my God, what is this I know I'm gonna get triggered now, and then you put that out there, and of course, guess what happens? What I love about the Tower in this deck is that it's like lightning coming in, but look, there's life here. There's life. There's a squirrel. There's butterflies. It's a rebirth. It's like burning off, striking out the things that you no longer need, that no longer serve you. And it's there. It's not killing it. It's helping you see the life that's still there. It's just the stuff on the top had to be scraped away. The situation, had to shift. But this is just, to me, it's like a rebirth card. And so, there is a process when things exit your life that maybe you weren't ready for, even though it's in your highest and greatest good. You do need to grieve that. You do need to feel it. You need to honor and sit with those emotions, right? So after that, we've got Temperance. Again, another major arcana. So we've got in this reading the High Priestess as a major arcana, the Sun, the Tower, and Temperance, and we still have another one coming. So very, very powerful energy here, which again is not surprising because that's what eclipse energy is. But Temperance, this is about balance. This is about, and the reason I say about balance, it's about healing and it's about divine timing. But look how he's got the sun and the moon, and he's kind of like just relaxing. Like, I feel like he's definitely doing some shadow work because he looks kind of battered. He looks kind of like a dark, energy, but he's got the angelic realm supporting him. He's got his higher self supporting him, the magic that he's creating, right? It's, Temperance is a card that I used to also hate to get because it's like, oh, I gotta wait, I gotta be patient, divine timing. And, when you get in that frustrated energy, like, are my blessings ever coming? They're not gonna come if you're always asking and wanting and hoping and wishing. Again, just remember, you want to get in this energy and this energy especially, to where you don't even have a care in the world because you're so in your own bliss and your creative energy and your passion that, having someone come in your life, or, it's like everything you have is just, everything is, it's, when you're grateful for everything you have, you start to bring in that joy and shift your vibration. So there is a time of temperance, and I pulled a few more cards just because I was getting kind of pinged. That you sit with, if you sit with this energy, sit with that shadow, do that work, You can release it. You can let it go. Judgment. Again, this deck is just exquisite. The Light Seer's Tarot, again, if you missed it. But she's literally she's surrendering it. And, the things that no longer serve, the things that are holding her back, it's like that baggage. It's like she's letting it go. She's letting it out, and she's ready, for the next chapter. It's just almost like, it's like, again, that death and rebirth energy. It's just a process that we have to go through. But, what I'm getting here is, when she lets that go, she's ready to move on to her own things, right? The Nine of Pentacles is here. And I'm telling you, this one is definitely, the self-employment, bringing in your own foundation, creating your own happiness. She's got like the pick of everything, right? And it's like, if you've been planting these seeds and working on things for a long time, and it seems like it's not coming to fruition, then what I'm getting is there's definitely a little bit more healing to do, and there's something that needs to go. And I feel like, number one, it's an attitude shift to get into that confidence, letting go of the fear, letting something go, and trusting, surrendering that it's for your highest and greatest good, and that better things are coming. And then you'll start to reap the rewards. And you also feel peace, because I think this is a dove right here. This is just absolutely beautiful. The Nine of Pentacles is also a self-employment card. So if you've been thinking about starting your own ventures, starting your own business, whatever that is, this is definitely a sign it's time to do that. I also feel like this energy for me, this and Seven of Pentacles, I just kind of feel like, for whatever reason, it's always like reaping the harvest, reaping the crops. It's kind of like fall energy. So 9 September, I feel like if you use this eclipse season, and again, timing, energy can shift on a dime. I could do another reading in an hour, and I could be picking up on July, something happening, or October. So because of people's free will, because of how things shift and flow, don't get hung up on timing. But just for some of you, I'm getting with this energy as of now, September could definitely be a time when you see some things coming in for you in a tangible way. But it's critical that you do the work now, that you really work on healing your heart. And again, it doesn't have to be a romantic situation. Definitely had grief and a death. It was losing, my work family and all the things that we built over the years, to build this company into a nationwide brand and triple it in size in less than 5 years. And it was devastating. It was devastating. And to see good people get laid off, and not understanding like why this is being destroyed, right? It was absolutely a tower. But again, all of us have been better off. But even knowing that, there's still times I feel it come up, and I feel sad, and I feel like I need to grieve it. So I feel like you need to sit with that and honor it. And Apache tears are a great way to process. When I think about things, and if I'm crying or whatever it is, I hold those, and they do absorb your grief. You can get them on Amazon. I've had good luck with those as far as crystals go on Amazon. But finally, what we have here is another progression. We had the Three of Swords to the Four of Swords. We have the Eight of Cups to the Nine of Cups. And again, it's walking away from whatever it is that is not emotionally fulfilling you, be it the job, be it the relationship, be it toxic friendships, be it just a living situation. It could be family, it could be whatever it is. But walking away from that towards towards the sun. Look what comes next. The Nine of Cups is like the ultimate surrender. It's this joy. It's this, I'm getting to, some of you need to take a leap of faith. You know what you need to do, but you're scared, and you're letting that fear hold you back. So that's for the spread, guys. And I'm going to pull just a few oracle cards to give you some parting messages. And oh my God, okay, that was so weird, because I just went to set my deck aside, and this card like just flew off the top. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Death, rebirth. And in this deck, it is death, infinity symbol, rebirth. And it's like this whole new world is awaiting you. This whole new world, this whole new shining, just vibrant existence, this light within you, this connection to the all. It's a part of who you are, but you've got to let go of the past. All right, let's see what we've got for the Zodiac Moon reading cards. These are really cool cards. You can't make this up, guys. Sun and Aries, new beginnings, a leap of faith. Oh my God. Did I not just say that this is a leap of faith? Nine of Cups, this is an energy of self, self is a solo energy is a 9, but 9s are also about closure, about closing something out and moving on. But there's like treasure here. There's these things that are just at your grasp if you just let go of the things that are weighing you down. This is amazing too. There's dolphins in here. We definitely had the water energy coming up earlier. Cancer season, something since last summer or Pisces season, I feel like has been brewing, and you're ready to shed that dead weight. But new beginnings, Sun and Aries. We just exited the Sun in Aries, entering Taurus season. A leap of faith. You're being encouraged, and I think you know what that is, what that leap of faith is. All right, we are also gonna, just for kicks, we're gonna pull, this is the new deck that I got, which is the Moonology Manifestation cards, I think. Since it's a new moon, I want to pull that energy. Okay, this says first quarter moon in Sagittarius. Again, that fire energy, things moving quickly is what I get with Aries and Sag. Believe in your good luck. Right? Believe in your good luck. This is about that leap of faith. This is about balancing yourself. This is about connecting to the divine and believing that everything, putting your hands up and saying, okay, I am ready to receive these things. I'm worthy of it. And knowing that things are coming your way if you take that leap of faith. So I hope this was a helpful reading for you. I feel like this, again, is just some beautiful energy coming in. And I know it isn't easy to let go of the things that no longer serve. I have been there. And if you, aren't sure how to take the next steps on your journey, if you aren't sure how to get over those fears, if you think you have, other wounds or things that are holding you back and you're not sure what the next step is and how to move forward, I would love to schedule a session with you to try to help guide you through those things. And again, that information is down below with my website. And again, feel free to contact me if you have any questions about scheduling an appointment. Take care, guys, and I hope to start coming on here and recording some more videos for you soon. Thanks.